Hello, and welcome to another episode of Movie Spoiler Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about the 2012 film, The Hunger Games, the first film in the Hunger Games series, so let's get started. The film takes place in the dystopian futuristic country of Pan Am, led by President Snow. Pan Am is divided into two primary regions, the capital, which is a wealthy and ruling nation, and the districts. The districts are the poor regions, divided into 12 separate districts, based off of the resources that they provide to the capital. Life in the districts vary by district to district, primarily getting worse the higher the number of the district, but all the districts are pretty much poorer than the capital. In the history of Pan Am, many years ago, the districts tried to rise up against the capital and failed. As punishment for the rebellion, the capital instituted a yearly event known as the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is a challenge where one boy and one girl from all 12 districts, ages 12 to 18, are chosen as tributes to compete in a battle to the death. Only one survivor comes out alive, and they do receive a handsome reward, but the horror of being forced into a murderous and dangerous situation typically scars the victors. These events are televised and highly publicized. In the capital, they are exciting, fun games to watch, while those in the districts watch in horror as their children are murdered or killed. The film follows Katniss Everdeen, a citizen of District 12, who volunteers in place of her sister Prim. She is also joined by Peeta, the male District 12 tribute. They are escorted from District 12 by their chaperone, Effie Trinket, who is from the capital and acclimates them to the customs, showmanship, and conferences that will occur before the Hunger Games. Katniss makes a very big presence in the pre-game events, gaining a great deal of popularity. They are also joined by their mentor, Haymitch Abernathy, who is an alcoholic and a past victor of the Hunger Games. At the capital, Katniss and Peeta meet the tributes from the other districts, some who are friendly, some who are not, and they begin their training for the games. Katniss has a history of bow skills, having spent a great deal of time hunting with her friend and possible romantic interest, Gale. However, prior to the games, and during the games, Peeta and Katniss start to develop a for-TV relationship in order to win some favor for the audience. However, this relationship is not real. The games begin, and it becomes a series of different tributes either dying from crazy environmental conditions, insane wildlife such as giant poisonous bugs known as trackerjackers, or being killed by other tributes. Temporary alliances are made and broken, and at the end of every day, the tributes who have died are announced. Haymitch is able to convince Crane, the head game maker, to allow there to be one male and one female victor. This would allow both Peeta and Katniss to win, which the audience wants because of their fake relationship. Katniss and Peeta are the last remaining tributes, both having either watched people die or having killed people themselves, and now believe that they have won. However, it is announced that there will only be one winner, and Peeta and Katniss will have to fight to the death. In a desperate attempt, Katniss convinces Peeta to eat some poisonous nightlock berries with her, which would kill both of them. She knows that this will force the game makers to intervene, as there has to be a living winner, so the game makers stop them and make both Katniss and Peeta the winners of the Hunger Games. Katniss is warned that her act of defiance has gained her some enemies. Head game maker Crane is locked in a room with a bowl of nightlock berries by President Snow, presumably to kill himself as punishment for allowing two winners. Katniss and Peeta are returned back to District 12, and they try to forget the events of the Hunger Games. So that was the spoilers for the Hunger Games. If you have a film you'd like to see me spoil, please let me know in the comments below. Check out movie spoiler alerts on our various forms of social media below, and remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.